Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mag. So yet again, another video on the channel today for you guys. And we are going to be talking about Nufc news. There's going to be quite a bit to talk about in this video, of course, with Castor releasing the brand new limited edition 130th anniversary shirt today. There will be pictures, of course, up on screen as we talk about this shirt. It looks really nice, I've got to say. It's a pretty nice shirt. Some are complaining about the shirt. I think it does look really nice. Obviously, the central badge is a bit of a strange one. It's never quite went down with us Newcastle United fans. We always like the badge to be in the normal position over the left chest, of course, with the kit maker on the right hand side of the chest, of course. But we have seen it, before, where, of course, the Newcastle United badge is in the central position. The kit sponsor maker, is also in the central position as well. But looking at the shirt, it looks really nice. Obviously, we've seen pictures of it on the players as well, with Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier and Sean Longstaff, of course, wearing the shirt on the picture that, of course, Newcastle put out on the official Twitter account. And I've got to say, it's a really nice shirt. Comes in at £65, of course, for the replica version, £105 for the pro version, and, of course, as usual, the juniors version comes in at £50. Obviously, the junior version doesn't have the sponsor on the front, but the adult editions of the kit obviously will have the Fun 88 sponsor on the front. It's a really nice shirt, like I say. I've seen quite a few Newcastle fans already purchased it. It's available in sizes right up to 5XL. I think on the Newcastle website, though, the 5XL has sold out. But I think it's the Pro one or the replica one only goes up to a 4XL. So, do make sure to get a size a little bit bigger, as we do know Castor are usually a little bit weird with the sizes. So, other than that, fantastic shirt by Castor. Just a shame, that the company can't get, their shirts right on the sizing, and they can't get their stitching right as well, because they've done a really good shirt here. Obviously, again, it is a black shirt to mark the Newcastle anniversary, something that was seen, when Puma did the 125th anniversary one, which there will be a picture of course, that up on screen for anybody that doesn't remember that kit. But just a fantastic shirt, really nice one, reminiscent of the 90s shirts as well, with the pattern that is on it, reminiscent of what we've seen when England had their shirt, in the 90s. So a pretty nice design by Castor, I've got to say. Some are saying it is a little bit messy. I do kind of agree that the feather effect on the shirt, of course, is a little bit much, but it does look pretty decent, I've got to say, on the image that Newcastle put up of Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier and Sean Longstaff wearing the shirt. But of course, now we're going to move on to talk about some ex-Arsenal players who have been having their say on Newcastle United and where Newcastle are going to be going in the future. We have seen, the Chronicle put out an article where David Seaman has been talking about Newcastle. He's been saying Newcastle are building something special. Ray Parlour, of course, another ex-Arsenal player as well, has also been following down the same path as David Seaman by saying that Newcastle are building something special. So, these ex-pros of the game are starting to realise, what is happening at Newcastle United. They're starting to realise the revolution that is happening at Newcastle United. They're starting to realise, that we are going places. This is not the Newcastle United that, people have seen for the last 15 years. This is a brand new Newcastle United, a rejuvenated Newcastle United, and this is something that the owners have been pushing from day one since coming in on the 7th of October of last year. Of course, we are now past the 1 year anniversary of the takeover, so we're already a year into the takeover. We're already a year into the plan of PIF, Amanda Staveley and the Rubens, Newcastle United, and it is looking absolutely amazing. I've got to say, the way we are performing out on the pitch is absolutely fantastic. Eddie Howe, had a lot of criticism towards him when he came into the job from, not Newcastle fans, of course, not from us Newcastle United fans, but from other people, saying, why is Newcastle United going for Eddie Howe? He hasn't been in the job since the Bournemouth job. And of course, talking about Bournemouth being relegated, what people fail to forget is that Eddie Howe took Bournemouth from League 2 to the Premier League on a shoestring budget, kept them in the Premier League for so long until eventually, a controversial decision by VAR cost Bournemouth their place in the Premier League. So that is, what people are failing to forget, and it's absolutely crazy, the way we're performing at the moment. We're 6th in the table. We're going into this game against Manchester United at Old Trafford on Sunday. A side that aren't really hitting on all cylinders at the moment. They just picked up a 1-0 win on the 93rd minute against a Cyprus side. And people are going absolutely mental about that. They were also going absolutely mental, about their win against Everton. And looking at them games, I've got to say I wasn't impressed with the way they played in them games. I was not impressed one single bit of the way Man United were playing in them games. They looked very lackluster all over the place, passes going awry. It was just absolutely dreadful football. And if they play like that on Sunday against, us at Old Trafford, then they are seriously going to be on the end of an absolute thumping. And I would love to be able to, see Newcastle get that thumping, to quote Kevin Keegan there. Of course, with that, I love it if we beat them. And I'm sure Kevin Keegan would love it if we absolutely thumped Manchester United on a Sunday. Of course, I would take just a 1-0 win in that game, but it would be amazing to be able to thump them. But I am getting off a subject here. We will do the preview later on today, so keep an eye out for that video. But like I say, the ex-pros, David Seaman, Ray Parlour, we've seen other ex-pros as well of the game, starting to realise that Newcastle are going places. Like I say, there's a revolution happening here. We're not here to take part, we're here to take over. That has been the slogan of Newcastle United from day one under these owners. Eddie Howe's, mentality as well is intensity is our identity. And that is an excellent, phrase for what Newcastle United are right now. We are absolutely firing on all cylinders. We're playing some of the best football in the world right now. We're the team to watch for the way we're playing as well. So, as you can tell, I am well and truly excited by the way, we are playing. I'm excited by the prospects for the future as well under these owners, under Eddie Howe as a manager as well. We could have an absolutely sensational next 10 to 15 years, even more, because that is what the owners are trying to do. They're trying to make it a sustainable model. They're trying to, not go out there like we've seen with Chelsea in the past when they got their takeover, or, Man City when they got their takeover. They're trying to go out there, the owners are going to go out and they're trying to make it a sustainable model so that we can win trophy after trophy after trophy, not be one of these teams, like Chelsea was, or like Man City was, where, well, not so much Man City, but Chelsea was, where they instantly went out there, they won a few cups, and then it went silent for a while. Newcastle don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Our owners don't want to do that. We want to go out there. We want to be consistent. but want to be finishing like Darren Neils said, you know, in the video I was doing yesterday. Darren Neils said on Total Sport for BBC Radio 1, BBC Radio Newcastle, sorry, he said that they want to be competing in top 6 consistently. They want to be going for European football as well. That is what the owners want to do for us Newcastle United fans, for, of course, the club, the area. We need to be doing that on a consistent basis, and that is a brilliant thing to see. But like I say, you know, the ex-pros are starting to realise that things are changing at Newcastle from what, you know, everybody's been seeing for the past 15 years under the previous ownership. So it's absolutely amazing with the way things are going on at the moment. Moving on to yet another piece of Newcastle United news, and of course Chronicle putting it out, saying NUFC are set to unveil a new shirt sponsor which will be in place for the 23-24 season. Of course, this coming from Lee Ryder. They haven't said what the shirt sponsor is, so a lot of talk is going around about it being a Saudi related sponsor. Of course, with Darren Neils again, you know, talking on BBC Newcastle's Total Sport, which I talked about in the video about that one, of course, and he was talking about, you know, Newcastle going for you know, PIF companies as main shirt sponsor or sponsorships at the club. So maybe it could be something along them lines. I did give an example, of course, in that video of what I think, you know, would be a company that could possibly be looked at is, of course, Disney. That was one of the rumours that was going around, that Disney could be interested in being the shirt sponsor for Newcastle. They could be interested in being the stadium naming sponsor as well, of course, with it being similar to what Barcelona did with theirs, you know, where they have No Camp powered by Spotify. Of course, it would be St James's Park, like I said in that video, of course, powered by Disney as an example. But it's interesting to see, you know, and it's brilliant to see all this news coming out about Newcastle United. It's, of course, makes us YouTubers' jobs a lot easier when, you know, there is stuff out there to talk about and, you know, to sink my teeth into. But a lot of talk about, you know, getting a new shirt sponsor. That is definitely a must. Because the Funny one just wasn't packing a punch with the finances. Dan Ashworth as well, Craig Hope had an interview with Dan Ashworth, and he says sometimes an opportunity comes and you go, wow, there's no ceiling on what NUFC can achieve. One of the things that Dan Ashworth said in the interview, of course, and I sincerely hope Eddie and I work together for a long period and take the club where we want to go. Absolutely do I not want to sell Bruno. Another piece, of course, that Dan Ashworth was talking about in the interview about Bruno. In talking about Bruno, of course, there was news around that Newcastle said to Real Madrid if they wanted to buy Bruno from Newcastle United, they'd have to pay 500 million. $500 million to be able to get Bruno from Newcastle United. There is literally not a club around that could pay that kind of money. Obviously, we could. I don't know if Man City could, to be honest, personally. They do have a lot of money, but I don't think they have enough to be able to spend 500 million on one player in one season. PSG, again, you know, they do have a lot of money, but I don't think they've got enough to spend 500 million on one player in one season. The only team that could possibly do that is us. Of course, you would need the financial backing as well on the FFP side of things to be able to do that. As, of course, you know, Newcastle do have unlimited funds. We do have unlimited funds. We've known that from day one since the owners came in, that we do have an unlimited budget. There is just a complete unlimited budget with Newcastle. So, you know, we could easily do that if we wanted to, but we don't need to because we already got Bruno. So Bruno won't be going anywhere unless anybody, wants to foot up that 500 million pound bid to bring Bruno to their club. But until then, Bruno is staying at Newcastle United. Even if they did, I still believe, Bruno would be a Newcastle United player. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. What's your thoughts on the brand new shirt released by Castor today? You can go and purchase it at the club shop at St James's Park or the club shop at the Metro Centre. Of course, you can as well purchase it online as well on the Newcastle United website. What's your thoughts on, of course, all these ex-pros coming out like David Seaman, Ray Parlour, talking about Newcastle United in the future? What's your thoughts on that? And also, what is your thoughts on the Dan Ashworth interview as well? What did you think about that? Let us know down in the comments below. And I do read the comments as well, so, make sure to be as active as possible down in the comments below. Do go there and watch the comments and read the comments and reply back to you guys as well down in the comments section below. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and however lads.